Let us look at another example of cost volume profit analysis. We have been given 4 independent cases, and the information that we are dealing with is selling price per unit, variable cost per unit, total number of units sold, total contribution margin, total fixed costs, and operating income. Now, there is definitely a correlation between this information. So let's note down those relationships. So we know that the variable cost plus fixed cost is equal to the total cost. Then revenue minus the total cost is equal to the operating income. Revenue minus variable cost is equal to contribution margin. So with this knowledge of the relationships and the information given to us, let's try to find out the information which is missing. So let's first take case number 1. The selling price per unit is $30. So this person is selling each unit at $30. The variable cost per unit is $20. So the cost of labor, raw material, which varies with the number of units sold, is $20. The total number of units sold is 70,000. We don't have the contribution margin, we don't know the fixed cost, but we know that the operating income is minus 15,000. So the total contribution margin will be equal to the revenue, that is the overall total revenue, minus the total variable cost. So the total revenue will be equal to the selling price per unit multiplied by the total number of units sold. So let's find out these values. So the total revenue for case number 1 will be equal to 30, which is the selling price per unit, multiplied by 70,000. 7 3s are 21. So 21 and 1 2 3 4 5 5 zeros. 1 2 3 4 5 dollars. Now the total variable cost will be variable cost per unit multiplied by the total number of units sold. So the total variable cost is equal to 20 multiplied by 70,000, and this is equal to 7 2s are 14, and then 1 2 3 4 5 5 zeros. So the total contribution margin will be equal to the subtraction of total revenue and total variable cost. So this will be 1 2 3 4 5 zeros, and 21 minus 14 is 7. So let's note this down. 700,000. Now the total fixed cost will be equal to the total cost minus the variable cost. However, in this equation we have two unknowns. We don't know the total cost and we don't know the fixed cost. So let's see if we can find out the total cost using the second equation, which says revenue minus total cost is equal to operating income. So we have the operating income and we know the total revenue, which is this. So we can find out the total cost. So the total cost is equal to revenue plus the operating income. So this is equal to 210,000 plus the operating income, which is minus 15,000. So minus 15,000. So this is equal to 2085000 dollars. So now we have the total cost here and we know the variable cost. So we have to find out the fixed cost. So fixed cost will be equal to, so we'll bring variable cost on the other side. So total cost 2085000 minus the total variable cost, which is this 1400000. So this is equal to 685,000 dollars. So the total fixed cost is 685,000. Now let's move to the second case. So in the second case, we have the selling price per unit, which is $25. We don't know the variable cost per unit. We know the total number of units sold. We know the total contribution margin. We know the total fixed costs, but we also don't know the operating income. So let's first try to find out the variable cost per unit. Now we know that the total contribution margin is equal to the total revenue minus the total variable cost. So we know the total revenue because we can find that out by multiplying the selling price per unit with the total unit sold. So let's find out the variable cost per unit for the case number 2. So here the revenue is equal to 25 multiplied by 180,000. So 25 multiplied by 180,000 minus the variable cost. So variable cost will be, let's say it is X for variable cost per unit. So the total variable cost will be X multiplied by the total units sold. So minus 180,000 X, and this will be equal to the contribution margin, which is 900,000. So, or let's take 180,000 X on the other side. So 25 multiplied by 180,000. So 4500000 minus 900,000 is equal to 180,000 X, or 3600000 is equal to 180,000 X, or X is equal to 3600000 divided by 180,000. So these 4 zeros get cancelled. 360 divided by 18, 18 2s are 36, and there is 0. So X is equal to 20. So the variable cost per unit is $20. Let me erase this first example here. Now the next missing information is the operating income. So we know that operating income is revenue minus the total cost. So we know the revenue, selling price multiplied by the units sold, and the total cost will be equal to the total variable cost plus the total fixed cost. So let's find out the operating income. So the operating income will be equal to 25 multiplied by 180,000 minus, so the total cost will be 20 multiplied by 180,000. So 20 multiplied by 180,000 plus the total fixed cost, which is 800,000. So this is equal to 45,000,000 minus 36,000,000 plus 800,000. 45,000,000 minus 44,000,000. So this is equal to $100,000. So the operating income is $100,000. Now let's move on to case number 3. So in case number 3, we don't have the selling price per unit, but we have the variable cost per unit. We have the total units sold. We have the total contribution margin. We have the total fixed costs, and we don't know the operating income. Now the total contribution margin is equal to revenue minus the variable cost. So we know the variable cost, we can find out the revenue. So let's use this formula. So revenue, let's say the selling price per unit is X. So X multiplied by the total units sold will be the total revenue. So 150,000 minus the variable cost, which is 10 multiplied by 150,000. So 10 multiplied by 150,000 is equal to the total contribution margin, which is 300,000. So 150,000 X minus 150,000 and then one more zero of 10 is equal to 300,000. So let's bring this number to the other side. 150,000 X is equal to 300,000 plus 150,000 or 150,000 X is equal to 180,000 or X is equal to 180,000 divided by 150,000. 4 zeros get cancelled. 180 divided by 15 is 12. So the selling price per unit is $12. Now next we have to find out the operating income. Operating income is revenue minus the total cost. So we know the revenue, we know the variable cost, we know the fixed cost. So let's find out the operating income. So operating income is equal to, so revenue, which is 12 multiplied by 150,000. So 12 multiplied by 150,000 minus the total cost. So total cost is the addition of variable cost and the fixed cost. So variable cost is 10 multiplied by 150,000. So 10 multiplied by 150,000 plus the total fixed cost, which is 220,000. So this is equal to 180,000 minus 15 0 0 0 0 and then one more 0 of the 10 plus 220,000. So this is equal to 1800,000 minus 1720,000, and this is equal to $80,000. So the operating income is $80,000. Now let's look at the fourth case. So here we have the selling price per unit of $20. We have the variable cost per unit of $14. We don't know how many units have been sold. We know the total contribution margin, which is $120,000. We don't know the total fixed cost, and we know the operating income, which is $12,000. Now we know that the contribution margin is equal to revenue minus the variable cost. So we know the contribution margin, we know the unit selling price, we know the unit variable cost. So we should be able to find out the total number of units sold using this formula. So let's do that. So revenue is, let's say the total number of units sold is X. So the revenue will be 20X minus the variable cost, which is 14X, is equal to the contribution margin, which is $120,000. So this becomes 6X is equal to 120,000, or X is equal to, so 6 2s are 12, 0 0 0 0. So this is 20,000 units. Now we have to find out the total fixed cost. We know that the total revenue minus the total cost is equal to the operating income, and total cost is equal to the total variable cost plus the total fixed cost. So we know all the values for this formula except the total fixed cost. So let's use this formula to find out the total fixed cost. So the revenue is 20 multiplied by 20,000, and this minus the total cost. So total cost is the addition of variable cost and fixed cost. Variable cost is 14 multiplied by 20,000. So 14 multiplied by 20,000 plus the total fixed cost. Let's keep that as X, and this whole thing is equal to the operating income, which is $12,000. So or this becomes 400,000 minus 14 2s are 28, so 28,000 minus X is equal to 12,000, or so 400,000 minus 280,000 is 120,000 minus X is equal to 12,000, or X is equal to 120,000 minus 12,000, which is equal to 108,000. So the total fixed cost is $108,000.